Hey, welcome and thank you for joining us in this data analytics masterclass. In this class, we'll be talking about Power BI. And before I go on and let you know what Power BI is, I would like you to quickly do one thing. Kindly subscribe, like the video, and also share this video with some of your friends. One of the things we appreciate about this class is the comments you all drop. And whenever you give us comments, we appreciate it and we take those feedbacks and we improve on some of the classes and contents that we give out. Now, have you ever looked at a spreadsheet overflowing with lots of numbers and wished you could just magically transform it into something meaningful, something that is insightful? Well, that's where Power BI comes in. In this video, we will take a first look at this awesome tool that changes the way we understand data. But first, let me show you an example of a Power BI. Over here is an example of a Power BI dashboard that was done for an hospital emergency room. And this is just one of those things that we're able to convert several spreadsheets and numbers and databases into one beautiful dashboard that is very insightful. Now, you might be wondering, why exactly are we in this class? Now, let me explain to you one of the reasons why we are in this class. We are in this class to actually talk to you about how to use the existing data that you have to prepare you to be masterful data analyst or data scientist, depending on whichever route you would like to go into. Now, what is Power BI? Power BI is a superpower for your data. It is a free Microsoft tool that lets you, one, connect your data. It helps you to pull data from spreadsheet, databases, online sources, you just name it. It also helps you to transform by cleaning up your data, combine different sources, shape it for analysis. It also helps you visualize by creating stunning charts, graphs, interactive dashboard that tells a story. And again, the most beautiful part of it is that when you create a dashboard, it also helps you to share that dashboard. Why Power BI matters? Okay, so you would want to know why is it that Power BI is very important in this data analytics masterclass. It helps you make better decisions. It helps you spot hidden patterns. It helps you also to impress your boss or your executive leadership. And before we go on, I'd like to once again remind you that we do have a boot camp that is coming on, and we would appreciate if you can also check the link in the description so that you can sign up for that boot camp. Now it's time for demo, and we want to move over to our demo so that we can see what we are doing. But first, before we go on with our demo, you might be wondering, what data set are we going to be using? The data set that we'll be using is the data set that we've used and shared in previous classes. And one of those data sets include immigration patterns that has occurred over time in the US. So now let's head up over to our data set and start transforming it by bringing it first, connecting all those data that we have, connecting all the data sources that we have into Power BI. Hello and welcome once again. Thank you for joining our Power BI class. One of the things that we'll be doing today is to show you how to connect data to your Power BI. One out of many sources that you can connect your data is through Microsoft Excel or any CSV format or any spreadsheet or any data source from SQL to Bricks and as well as JSON and other Google BigQuery data. Now, one of the things that we'll be doing in this class today is to show you how to connect one with Microsoft Excel. We'll also show you how to connect with Google Sheet. We'll also show you how to connect with Microsoft SQL. Now, for the purpose of this class, let's head over to our data set, which we have here. And you can also find the description to download this data set in the link. The first thing that we will do is try to download this data into Microsoft Excel. And when we download this data into Microsoft Excel, it allows us to save that data in our download folder. And we will save this file in our download folder. Next, we're going to head over to our Power BI to show you how we will connect this data to our Power BI. But first, before we connect to our Power BI, let me power up our Power BI in this video. So first, we'll head over to our Windows video here. First, we'll head over to our Windows, and then we will click on the menu here, and then we'll search for Power BI. And here we are. Power BI Desktop is here. If you would like to download and install Power BI, the first thing I will suggest you do is you go to your store over here, your Microsoft Store over here, and you click on it, you search for Power BI, and you will be able to download it to your computer. And here we go, Power BI, and then because I have already downloaded Power BI, it's telling me to open it. However, in your own case, if you've never downloaded Power BI before, it will tell you to download here. And when it is done with the download, it will also give you the option to open the Power BI here. But for the purpose of this class, I will head over here to Power BI, and I will click here to power up our Power BI. Now, we've powered our Power BI. Next thing we're going to do now is to click on Get Sources, right? We can click on Get Sources. We can either use OneLake here if our data source is in the Data Hub. We can also use Microsoft Excel, which is what we're going to use in this particular session. We can use SQL Server, or we can learn with sample data that is embedded and comes with Power BI. The next we can also do is to click on Get Sources. Now, for the purpose of this class, I'd like to just show you that we have several sources, data source that we can use. So I'll click on Data Source, and you can see that we have just so many data source here that is exhaustive. So I will click on Microsoft Excel, which is here, and I'll click on Connect. And it will take me to go and browse to find my immigration data set, which we saw earlier on. You can also find the description to download this video in the description link below. So now I am trying to connect to the data set. You will notice that inside the data set, there are lots of sheets in that workbook. The specific data set that we need to use is the one with raw data. And I will click on raw data. And the next thing I will do is click on transform. This allows me to see all my data set as it is in the Microsoft Excel. Now, this is the first side of connecting our data set to Power BI. The next I will do is I will also show you another new way to connect your data source through the use of Google spreadsheet, right? And I will come over here again. I will click on Get Data, and I'll click on More. And I will also click here and search for Google. And I'll click on Google Sheets. The next I will do is click on Connect. And when I click on Connect, it will ask me if I want to connect to third party. I'll go ahead and say Continue. And over here, I will copy the link that I have in the description. I'll share it with you in the description. I will copy it and paste here. I'm pretty sure you can see that this is the same link that we have in our description. And you can see that it brought out the same data set that I need to connect to, right? I will also click on raw data, or I will click on, let me look for another data set that we might probably have here that might have something in it. I could use this, or I will go back and use the same raw data set. It's going to create another version for me, and I'll create load. And you see that over here in the data panel, it will create another table for me called raw data 2. And it will import that data that we have. Now you can see that it has appeared in our raw data 2 bar over here where we have the data bar. So on this note, we want to thank you for participating in this episode of our Data Analytics Masterclass. Please click on the link in the description to sign up for our bootcamp that is coming up very soon. And you can also join us by subscribing to this channel. Thank you, and see you in the next episode of our Power BI.